Since the turn of the century, the literal definition of what a car is has changed pretty drastically, because before many saw it as a well-oiled lump of metal that moved. But now it seems we want a bit more.
But for a while, that little bit extra would always mean a hefty price tag. That was until China made an invasion on the UK car market, bringing along cars which certainly personifies the progress in the automotive sector. And the perfect testament to that progression is the Geely EX5. Yet another Chinese brand has entered the chat, but this one takes affordable luxury to another level, with its signature high-end SUV exterior, lounge-like interior and tech, which quite frankly wouldn't look out of place in a Rolls.
Only really seems like in the past year that the automotive industry has changed dramatically and almost changed our perceptions of what we want from car. And that's helped by many factors: the war on the combustion engine, that looming EV mandate, and also manufacturers producing base specs which 3 years ago would be mirrored a top spec. And the Geely EX5 shows that progressive nature in abundance, with it starting from less than £30,000. Yes, you heard that right. You're getting an electric SUV, which makes you feel a part of the 1% club.
And the best thing about it is it doesn't look like a £30,000 car. It certainly looks more expensive and will definitely make your neighbours question, where the heck have they got that money from? Yes, the Geely EX5 might follow on from that newfound car aesthetic where it's minimal, there isn't really much going on. But I feel this electric SUV is so abstract from design features that it almost does a full 360 on itself, and you're almost thanking the design team, because this looks great and it certainly doesn't fall short. And it certainly goes big on the interior, because this isn't just another driving seat. This interior wouldn't look out of place at an overpriced London hotel. The layout, the design, the tech, it really makes you question, what is the definition of a car these days? With its sleek seating and practical centre console, it has the blueprints from what you need from a practical SUV without it being overdone. What's best about this interior is what you get from the base spec, starting at less than £30,000, because you'll get a wireless phone charger, a 15.4-inch digital touchscreen, 10-inch digital dash, keyless entry, in-vehicle Wi-Fi hotspot, heated steering wheel and 360 around view monitor. As for the higher specs, even though there isn't really much in between them three spec levels when it comes to its price point, then you'll get panoramic sunroof, heated and ventilated passenger and driver's seat, even a massaging function, which I think is probably my favourite feature, heads-up display and even a retractable footrest for the passenger.
Which might almost make you jealous that you'll be the one driving, until you actually do. Because with a 0-60 time of 6.9 seconds, 320 newton meters of torque, 267 miles of electric range, helped by its onboard 60.2 kilowatt hour battery to power your 18 or 19-inch wheels. Quite simply, the Geely EX5 is a delight to drive. Now, it's not overly performing. I wouldn't say it blows me away. It's not aggressive in any sense, and I wouldn't really say it's a particularly fun drive. But driving about town, I kind of feel a bit kingpin. I almost feel like I have that sense of I'm better than you, because of how luxury this car feels. Its dimensions fit it perfectly in between the mid-size and large SUV category. But despite its size, it feels light, it feels nimble. And it's also incredibly safe, with it scoring the maximum 5-star Euro NCAP safety rating, helped by the fact it has lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control, 360 parking cameras, blind spot detection, emergency braking, emergency manoeuvre assist. It's an incredibly safe car and would be an ideal family vehicle. It almost feels like the most modern day car that you could craft, because it almost seems like our perception, car buyers' habits have changed, where manufacturers aren't even producing necessarily really exciting or ferocious cars. a lot of their thoughts and efforts, and also money, goes into making cars that they know people will enjoy, when practicality and comfort, and also a bit of luxury, is at the forefront of their plans. And with that said, the Geely EX5 ticks all but more of those boxes, because it's not groundbreaking in terms of its performance. Sure, it has a good amount of zip. As an EV, it's going to have that instant torque. It has all the safety features that you could wish for, but you kind of expect that on a modern day car. But ultimately, it gives off that sheer aura of luxury. It almost feels like old money, but it's not even expensive. Yes, it might be petrol head's worst nightmare, but ultimately, for an everyday to-day person, this could be that perfect bit of luxury on the 9 to 5 commute.
Practical is certainly a key word for the Geely EX5, and one we definitely shouldn't brush over, because with all those safety features, with what you get in the interior from that abundant feature list, you also get plenty of space and storage, because underneath your tailgate, automatic, if you go for the top spec, you will get 410 litres of boot capacity. Got no kids? Lucky you, and drop them rear seats, then that extends to 1,877 litres. But 410 for a car of this size, I think is respectable. A bit more would have been nice, but you can extend it with a bit of underfloor storage that goes really deep down to that floor base. So plenty of space and storage would almost make it a great contender in the family SUV category. I mean, imagine doing the school run in this. You'd definitely talk of the PTA. And you get ISOFIX points either side, loads of legroom, a completely flat floor, rear tinted windows, and with air vents and charging ports, as well as decent amount of storage, your kids will certainly be driving in style, and not to mention high specs even get rear heated seats. Now parents, I know what you might be thinking, cream interior, run for the hills, not a chance. Don't worry, the Geely EX5 does offer a darker interior, so no amount of snacks can ruin your lovely car.
Tell you what, even though the 0-60 time is 6.9 seconds, which isn't low, it's not slowing by any stretch of the means, but when you've got the likes of the MG IM5 and IM6, when you've got Teslas knocking about, Polestars doing 0-60 in 3-4 seconds, then 6.9 you might be looking at being a little bit unimpressed. But it definitely has some kickback off the line, and it's weird because the electric sounds almost sound like an engine, and it has that kickback that you'd experience with a combustion engine. So if you hate EVs, you're thinking, I'm never moving away from petrol and diesel, that's in my blood, then some can provide it just about. On top of them 360 parking cameras, does have the addition of showing your blind side when you indicate. Just another really practical, useful and premium feature, as if the Geely EX5 could show any more. I'm not too sure whether there's anything I actually dislike about this electric SUV. Both the darker and the cream interiors look great. I feel like I'm a bit of a fan of this one because the center console has a bit of a bluey tone to it. I think the infotainment screen maybe could have had more apps, more sort of like gimmicky things, but I feel like it might take away from the actual aura and what the Geely EX5 is trying to portray. It feels like an old money SUV. It doesn't feel like a modern day car in that sense. Not like how a Tesla has a karaoke and it farts when you indicate. This doesn't have any of that, but I think it'll be wrong to. With the look of it, with the styling of the interior, it's a real stylish and almost elegant electric SUV. So having them types of tech, I think, will take away from it. It's all streamlined, not just in its look, but also its tech. Because it has what you need, has some impressive tech, but it's not gone overboard. I feel like this electric SUV might almost be the stuff of nightmares for petrol heads, for car lovers. Because it's almost a signal of that new era. The fact that we're getting an all-electric vehicle which houses so much luxury for what is essentially an average SUV price tag. The fact it starts from less than 30,000, top spec being around the 36,500. That's almost been unheard of for the amount of luxury that you get. The fact that brands are providing base specs which 4 years ago would house features that only a top spec would house. The fact you're getting features like 360 parking cameras thrown in willy-nilly as if it's nothing, as if it's a necessity. And then you get panoramic sunroofs. You get a massaging function. See, yes, it's not a loud and powerful machine. It's not got a 0 to 60 time which is going to blow your socks off. But what I think the Geely EX5 is, it's a standpoint in history. Because it almost feels like the Geely EX5 has set that benchmark. Why would a manufacturer now bring out an SUV to rival this? That's £5,000 more and its base spec is pretty naff. This is the future of the automotive industry. And this is definitely the turning point. Whether you like it or not, you might just have to accept it. All in all, I just think that this is an impressive piece of kit. And it almost feels like a landmark day for this to finally arrive into the UK. Because imagine experiencing this type of luxury for the same price as a top spec Nissan Duke. And I know which one I'd rather choose. Geely EX5 wins it all day long.